Habit number 5, pray. How do you pray at night? Do you ask for all the comforts of the world to make their way into your life? Perhaps you want safety and abundance for your family. Maybe you ask for something to happen in the way that it has already happened in your mind. Or maybe you beg God for relief from some current circumstance that's weighing heavily upon you. Whatever it is, how we tend to pray is often misaligned with how we actually should be praying. Praying is one of the most fundamental parts of being human, yet very few people actually do it. And even those who do pray regularly do not understand what prayer actually is on a fundamental level. We were created to be in communion with God, so we crave meaning and spiritual experiences. Human beings are also creatures of habit, and we create ritual as a means to accessing these needs. Prayer can be one such ritual, but be careful to not over-ritualize prayer because you'll miss the point. Just as Jesus says in Matthew 6, shortly before teaching the Our Father, "And when you pray, do not heap up empty phrases as the Gentiles do, for they think that they will be heard for their many words. Do not be like them, for your Father knows what you need before you ask Him." Matthew 6, verse 7 through 8. This is a profound statement on the nature of prayer, because it goes against everything that religion tells us that we should do. That's because religion is not based on God's sovereignty, but on man's effort, and therefore the outcome, or at least part of it, is your responsibility. But God is sovereign, and that is the basis for the good news of the gospel. God is completely in control, knows all things ahead of time, and has decreed the end for the highest good, which is His glory. So if this is the case, and God already knows exactly what you need before you ask it, what is the point of praying? While there are many biblical examples of people bringing their worries and requests to God, and there's nothing wrong with that, I believe that prayer at its fundamental level is to let go of the concerns of the material world and connect to God and His glory. It is the simple act of putting our mind on the eternal, communicating with God, and transcending the storm of life with its many concerns as a result. In that comforting secret place, there is peace and there is appreciation. That is why I believe prayer in its simplest and purest form is based on gratitude, and offering gratitude to God is a form of worship. So then prayer and worship are intertwined because of gratitude. Daily gratitude practice. For this habit, I will encourage one of the following for your daily gratitude practice. Pray at least once a day for a minimum of 5 minutes by giving thanks to God for everything that you have. Add a prayer to an existing ritual like morning coffee or evening wind down, and notice the benefits. This is actually a great way to create new habits by, quote, stacking them on existing habits. Write your prayers down in the form of a prayer journal. Keeping a prayer journal is a great way to build a habit of prayer and also to check in on your past self to see how you've changed. Chopping tips. A few tips for praying. Be specific. Do not just thank God for everything in your life, like, thank you, God, for everything. What do you mean by everything exactly? Articulate your blessings by name. The more you engage exactly what you're blessed with, the more it becomes apparent to you and real. Prayer is an inherently relaxing activity and one that should trigger your parasympathetic nervous system. So, keep this in mind. Use prayer as the foundation for getting your morning started, or take a prayer break in the middle of the day. For extra support, check out my book, The Way Home. There's a chapter in there on how to build a habit of prayer, and I discuss how to pray up to 7 times per day easily. In the end, it's not about the numbers, but rather fostering a free, open, and spontaneous connection with God through regular communication. He's always there, and that's a profound thought in and of itself. For journaling your prayers, get a journal that is special to you and makes you want to sit down and write. Treat journaling as an exploration, not as homework. Prayer written down stays with you longer, and it's a record of your emotions and life at a given time. Sort of like how I found that old journal from 2016 and realized that God was the one who I turned to naturally in my search for a more grateful life.